Three homages. No mic.
Udam saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Udam.
The six homages.
And one to grow on. Good morning and welcome to Reno Buddhist Center. We are so happy to have you with us today, both you here and you over there. We'll start with a special chant of invocation by the priests, calling all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions to be present with us today. It's a special day. You'll figure that out in a moment. So, just looking for my chanting script. And the bell. Zen sho mi da ni u do jo fu ni gu ga no u ji ko u kanon sei shi jin ja shu ju bu jo u ke. May the spiritual presence of Amida Buddha, Kannon, and Seishi Bodhisattvas, and all enlightened ones, past, present, and future, permeate this hall to send forth wisdom like flower petals falling from the sky to awaken those of us gathered. I feel like there's an echo in here. It's very confusing for me. And since her lips don't move, it's hard for me to sync up. I can't sync up. Okay. It's okay to have humor because the person we are honoring had a good wit. So, today we honor our dear friend, Reverend Phil Hurd. He transitioned from this life on July 14th, 2020. Reverend Phil, or Big Phil, as we fondly called him, was a dear friend to our temple founder, Dr. Matsunaga, a friend to our family and many other Sangha members. Phil was the first live-in RBC caretaker for several years until he was ordained in 2005 as a Shin Buddhist priest. He always spoke from the heart, and he had a very big heart. It made him easy to be with. So we gather in this important moment to acknowledge his transition and rebirth in the Pure Land of Amida Buddha, the land of bliss manifested by the primal vow of Amida over 5 kalpas ago. Phil is welcomed there by Amida, the Buddha of infinite wisdom and compassion. He will find peace in the realm of insight and joy with no obstacles to understanding. Rebirth there ends the long, arduous cycle of birth and death. It relieves all suffering. It awakens the Buddha nature. Phil is not suffering. Amida's grace extends to all sentient beings. To quote Renyo Shonin, "When I deeply contemplate the transient nature of human life, I realize that, from beginning to end, life is impermanent, like an illusion. We have not yet heard anyone who lived even 200 years. How fleeting a lifetime. We know in our hearts that the compassion of the Buddha is immediately guiding him, Phil, to the Jodo, the Pure Land, where he will have birth. There he will see clearly reality as it is and be able to direct his next birth back to help those of us who suffer here. Returning, he will be uniquely equipped to help sentient beings finally escape the cycle of birth and death. May Phil easily transition to the Pure Land, and may Amida Buddha's embrace of compassion and wisdom hold him safe, never to be let go." Namandas, namandas, namandas. We will now chant in our minds, so no outward speaking, just think your way through. Disho Shinge, this book, what you will find in the seat back pocket in front of you, or behind you in some cases. During that chanting, please come to the altar and offer incense and pay your respects to Reverend Phil. The offering of incense is done with a spirit of gratitude for the infinite compassion of the universe and to ease Phil's transition from one life to the next. It's easy to offer incense. Just put gratitude in your heart, come to the altar, bow, and place a pinch of incense on the charcoal, and then bow to finish. Please be mindful of social distance when you approach the altar. It's a calm, meditative walk. Everybody separated with space. We'll kind of go row by row from the front, and like that, it should be easy enough. Thank you so much.
無量寿如来南無不可思議故法蔵菩薩に自在世自在応部所東県勝部浄土院国土人伝自然幕本流無常修正願長法慶有大偶勢高校士唯士小樹十世名称文字法不法無量無変更無限無体公園の少女歓喜知恵公不断難し無償公小日が交渉人生一切群上無交渉本願用語少女語心心心行願人上等学生大内藩必死面倒願成就如来勝意公主世 唯生弥陀本願会五辱悪事群上会往生如来両実言の法一年喜愛心普段本の特寧藩本性逆法さえ入領収支入会一に聖主信仰上昇後異の水波無明湾本内心臓四分無上空心事心人天異名に幸福運無運無しげ妙無湾逆心謙虚大狂気即応超税合悪種異彩全幕本部人門親如来無税願運言広大小芸者税人用踏んだりけリーダー部本元年部邪変教がなく修上信行十字人に南中死な昔インド祭天四論下中華自治域史構想現代小構成小異妙如来本税王記釈迦如来ヨガ戦異種合如来天軸流樹大事主と性執の財派無無権先税大乗無情報召喚議事昭和なく賢治南行六六信行異行指導楽億年弥陀部本願自念即自入上唯の上昇如来道王法大悲偶税音天神菩薩増論性奇妙無下根如来永衆他天神寺高専王朝大聖願こういう本願力栄光異道群上昇維新記入空読大崩壊筆脈入大永衆衆特使連芸造成会即昇信用法昇進有言の人間人図入賞自音自用芸本自動願両天使情報乱象法さらい三蔵ルシ十条教本性専業気楽法天神菩薩論中芸報道因果見世願大元栄光有他力少女死因有信人惑前本部新人法承知承知即涅槃必死無量根陽道小宇宙上開復系同社継承動乱症有名浄土活入万全自力変言宗円満特合感染症三風三神慶音言増魔法明道非因異生増悪地偶税思案妖怪称名化全道六名無償意公愛上三両逆悪公明明後家二年大入本願大智慧幼者小樹混合心狂気一年総合用意大と逆三人即所法所市上楽現鎮公開一大教返帰安養可二祭先祖出身反戦人後継二道小弁流極十悪人唯勝部大薬剤非正集中煩悩証言水不見大義無見上昇が本次元空妙仏教 連民全幕本部人新宗教書本編集戦弱本願具惑星現代生寺林伝芸慶地議上位少子即入弱上無意楽一子新人に納入仏教大義修士と上妻無縁極辱悪王族自主良心唯過信し高祖世南無阿弥
アニシクドクヨド
聖祭道大神お嬢は
アマンラブ
ナマンダムナマンダムナマンダムナマンダム
This is like
Okay, very exciting. I would like to invite Will and Aaron to come up to the front, please. We will give Will a little time to get here.
you could take the far mark. That'll give him more time to get here. Well, he didn't give me a mic. Killing me.
So, we're very excited to have a happy thing to talk about. There haven't been too many happy things lately. So this is really wonderful.
Certainly
I'm
not.
waiting for Will.
Nice to see you, Will. You safely navigated the stairway. That can be tricky when you're rushing.
So we are happy to have this wonderful announcement of assistant priest candidate ceremony for Will Fisher and for Aaron Fisher. I'll give you a little background. Will has grown up at Reno Buddhist Temple from about the age of 8, and he knew Dr. Matsunaga well, our temple founder right here, and he learned a great deal from Dr. Matsunaga, from his Dharma talks, from having deep conversations with him, sometimes at our family home for dinner, visiting him at his temple in Hokkaido, and going on many pilgrimage trips to Japan, to many Shin Buddhist temples. He has vast experience in his young life. Will is naturally a very kind and empathetic person. I know I'm a little biased because I'm his mom, but it is true. He's a good listener. He has a wonderful sense of humor. He's very intelligent and creative. We always thought he would make a wonderful priest one day. Every time Will has met with our high priest Otani Sensei from our lineage, they always ask him, "So, are you interested in becoming a priest someday?" Kind of like, will you do this? Because it's very traditional in our tradition for the firstborn to take that responsibility and carry it forward. So Will would kind of say, I'm thinking about it. He was very circumspect and I think he actually was thinking about it for many years. So today he takes his first step. Erin. Erin has been a devoted member of our temple for the past 6 years. She has faithfully attended classes and services and activities. She does everything around the temple, just a presence here since the day she started with her mother, Susan. And she is a sensitive, intelligent person with bright wit and a strong work ethic. Erin just dives into anything she decides to do. She dives in wholeheartedly and does her very, very best. And I admire that so much. Erin is a fantastic baker as well. And so the temple has very much benefited from that, back when we could have tea time. And we will again someday. Erin has led the young adult Buddhist group here for a couple years, and she did that faithfully and led good conversations about Buddhism and how to apply Buddhism to your life. And actually that is how this lovely couple got together. When Will came back from Scotland, he attended a couple of young Buddhist classes with Erin, and they happened to be the only two in the class, and their conversations led to other things, and it's quite an auspicious beginning. It led to their engagement and their marriage. So, moving on, during the early days of the pandemic, when everything was locked down, Will and Erin helped us live stream our weekly Sunday services and carry out many other duties. We could not have done and carried on the temple work without them. They were and are invaluable. That is when they both decided that priest work and sustaining RBC into the future was what they wanted to do long term. They see it as a most meaningful path to devote their lives to, and I can't tell you how much their decision and commitment means not only to Reverend Matthew and I as their parents and as priests here, but to everyone in the Sangha and beyond, to the wider community. It's just such wonderful news, and we support them wholeheartedly and fully in every way that we can on this very important path. So, right now we will take refuge with them and chant the 3 homages. You can chant it quietly in your mask, that's fine. We're going to just do this. And you can chant too, please. 3 homages. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Namo Nams, Namo Nams, Namo Nams. We will now have the presentation of the assistant priest robes and special kesa that were given to Reverend Matthew and I when we were assistant priests. We are now handing them on. So if you would like to, you want to put the kesa on to Will. Those kesa have lots of blood, sweat, and tears in them. Namandams, namandams. Namandams, namandams.
Give you the name tag, but okay.
Pieces are already broken. It's nice.
Yes, they're already broken in for you. The gift is from Higashio Honganji, from our home temple, and they wish you much success. A couple more words. Higashio Honganji Tokyo and Reverend Matthew and I are honored and excited to announce that Will Fisher and Aaron Fisher are officially on the path to becoming fully ordained Jodo Shinshu priests. From now on, they will have the role of assistant priests at Reno Buddhist Center. Over the next 12 years or so, they will learn all of the ins and outs of running the temple, teaching the Dharma, performing ceremonies, caring for members, and providing avenues for sharing the wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha. Let us all officially welcome them on this very important step on the path. It will lead to joy, wisdom, and compassion for our Sangha and the entire community. Yay! We can clap. Love you both. On that happy note, we will now be having Dharma School. We'll just...
Walk with you.
Let the Buddha walk with you. Let the Buddha walk with you. Let the Buddha walk, just walk. Let the Buddha walk with you. The bees are working in the garden, working wholeheartedly. Never give me a mic. I'll just keep going.
Good morning. The Avarana Sutra, obstacles.
Closer to the mic, probably, because of the noise.
Is this better? Can you hear me better? Okay. On one occasion, the Buddha was staying in Savatthi, in Jedda's Grove, on Apakandata's monastery. There he addressed his students. Students! Yes, Lord, they replied. The Buddha said, these 5 hindrances, obstacles that overwhelm awareness and weaken discernment. Which 5? Desire for sensation is a hindrance that overwhelms awareness and weakens discernment. Ill will, laziness, restlessness of mind, and skeptical doubt are the hindrances. And when a student has abandoned these 5 hindrances, when he is strong and clear in discernment, it is easy to understand what will benefit self, other, and both. Without these hindrances, we realize a joyful human state, truly noble in knowledge and vision. That is possible. Suppose there was a river flowing down from the mountains, going far, its current swift, carrying everything with it. And a man would open channels, leading away from it on both sides. The strong current in the middle of the river would be dispersed, diffused, and dissipated. The river would not go far. Its current would no longer be swift, and it wouldn't carry anything with it. In the same way, when a student has not abandoned these 5 hindrances, these 5 rivers flowing out, rivers of desire for sensation, ill will, laziness, restlessness of mind, and skeptical doubt, his awareness and discernment are dispersed, diffused, and dissipated. Weakened in discernment, it is impossible to understand what will truly benefit self, others, or both. Impossible to realize a joyful human state, a truly noble knowledge and vision. Suppose there was a river flowing down from the mountain, going far, its current swift, carrying everything with it. And a man would close any channels leading away from both sides. The current in the middle of the river would be focused, strong, and swift. It would go far, carrying everything with it. In the same way, when a student has abandoned these 5 hindrances, he finds strong discernment. The Dharma is easy to understand, and he realizes a joyful human state, truly noble vision. That is what the Buddha said. Gratified, the students delighted in the Buddha's words. We will now have a few minutes of meditation accompanied by music. Thank you.
This is so complicated. I'm not sure you can hear me. How about now? Anything? Nothing? Okay. We'll work on it. Oh no, now it's hanging from my ear. Well, okay, there we go. You've got, can the people in the back hear me? Nodding head, that's a good sign. Okay. If they're nodding off, it's not so good, but they're nodding, so that's good. And fair warning, I've been watching a series of Marx Brothers movies lately, so this may drift into my Dharma talk. I don't know what to do about that. Good morning, friends. It's so good to gather together, sharing these important rites of passage, kind of in the warm embrace of our community, our Buddhist community, our Sangha. Yeah. There was even a wedding at RBC this week. Jay and Carly from our Moon Rabbit community, Jay's a chef, and Carly helps out all the time. They were joined, so we offer them good wishes on their life together as well. So, wow, that's like a memorial service for a dear friend who's passed, new priests, sustaining RBC, and a wedding, and a Dharma hike. We had that. This is a vibrant community under the circumstances. We've kept things going, and that's what's important. Dr. Matsunaga always had that strong value that keep it going. You know, don't stop, don't give up. If nobody shows up for the class, do it anyway, you know, practice. You need it, so I need it. So, wherever you are, trying to find my camera here. Oh, okay. Wherever you are, now I've lost what I was doing. We are glad you've found us, and the three gems of Buddhism that are present right now, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. You're always welcome at Reno Buddhist Center. The Buddha taught a simple path to a joyful life. The Eightfold Path is the middle way that we follow. It has 8 parts. Those are just right understanding, thought, speech, action, effort, livelihood, mindfulness, and quietude. We say just right to show the elements of the Eightfold Path are not a right or wrong kind of a thing. It's just a more subtle path than that. It's like when you exercise. We've all started at a gym, and what do? Overdo it, right? And then injuries come, and maybe even giving up results from that initial kind of blast. And we've all done the opposite, which is not getting around to exercising, not getting around to going. That is underdoing it. So, certainly not good for you either. But if we have a good understanding and we put in effort to make a habit of staying fit at any age, mindful of our limits, we can exercise just enough to challenge our body and our spirit without injuring ourselves. We benefit from this just right exercise, like we benefit from the just right life of following the Eightfold Path. Not too much, not too little. Sama Samadhi is like that. Not right quietude and wrong quietude, but just right quiet. And wow, this is the last fold of the Eightfold Path. If you've been following along with me here or at home, it's been several Dharma talks in a row that we've been talking about this stuff, very important core concepts. And we have made it through all 8 in just a few months. So, Sama Samadhi, just right quietude. Sometimes it's translated as right concentration, and I've just never liked using that word concentration for this because it's kind of misleading. Some Buddhist teachers even go as far as to use the word absorption, where you have like some special meditation where you are absorbed in the thing you're focused on. The Buddha did not talk about doing that, so that's a separate thing. He did study it when he was a student before he became the Buddha, but he, I wouldn't say rejected. He internalized that, took the good parts of that process of practice, and learned onward. So he didn't teach it, absorption or concentration. The extreme one-pointedness you might have heard about, but he didn't do that. He taught serenity, he taught samadhi. The gathering of mind is a gentle translation. This is the 8th fold of the path. Calm, composed stillness. Put yourself in a place where you can deeply hear the universe around you and inside you. We call it just right quietude. The Pali word samadhi was actually made up by the Buddha. It was not used before that. There were lots of words to describe meditation, this transcendent absorption thing or extreme one-pointedness. But he made up the word samadhi to mean a different kind of gathering of mind, not absorption and concentration. The kind of gathering that he was talking about is quietly including everything. So if we're focused, that's good if we're doing something specific, but as we gather everything in, we can open our gaze. We can perceive the vast wholeness of perception and being. It is an opening to all that is. It is interfered with, I'm trying to take a paragraph out here and it's not easy to do in real time. Okay, it is interfered with by those hindrances that Holly read in the sutra. So, if we remember the reading, the 5 hindrances are desire for sensation, ill will, laziness. I tried not to look at anybody in particular when I did that, but I might have looked at somebody, and I'm sorry, it was just a reflex. You know how that is, somebody says, ill will, and they look right at you, and you're like, okay. Desire for sensation, ill will, laziness, restlessness of mind, and skeptical doubt. Those are the hindrances. We experience these every day. They just keep happening to us, right? In meditation, we experience them. In life in general, they hinder us from spiritual progress. Some traditions make a lot of eliminating, stopping the hindrances. And then when they are not present, their counterpoint qualities come up. Those counterpoints are acceptance, loving kindness, energy, calmness of mind, and faith in the Dharma. In Buddhism, these hindrances are important. Important, you say? Well, of course. They are our bonboni nature, our goofball quality that's in all of us. We're just goofballs. We make mistakes. We never quite get anything quite right. If we recognize that, if we see these hindrances, then we kind of swallow our pride. We accept our imperfection. And that is essential to finding this quiet place. Just accept it. Recognizing these hindrances is necessary for our practice. They are where our clinging is happening. They are where our suffering is originating. We have to be able to see them and then go onward and take refuge. In the other traditions where they try to force them to stop because you have super strong concentration, that's just a pride builder. We try to avoid that. So, when we can contemplate in quietude, we can see the hindrances arise and just relax. Your mind will go into what we call calm, abiding awareness. And we've all experienced that at some place and some time. Maybe sometimes we can cultivate it. That is what the Buddha was talking about. Drop out, tune in, and turn on. Drop out of the regular restless monkey mind. Tune in to what is actually happening. And turn on to the energy that vibrant life and light around you releases. The wise and compassionate universe is there for you. It's holding you, never to be let go. And we can see that when we tune out the wanting and ill will. We can see that embrace. Tune out our laziness and our restlessness and our doubting. The Nembutsu helps us do that. By orienting ourselves in gratitude, there's less wanting because we have. We feel loving kindness surround us. We gain energy. The mind calms, and we cultivate faith in the Dharma. Namu Amida Butsu. This is the just right quietude that I want to talk about today. We use the word in Japanese, the word monpo, which means deep hearing. Quietude happens in this present moment. Just stay here. Be with what is happening right now. That is the peaceful quality of just right quietude. We can simply gather in everything that is happening right now, not consumed with tomorrow just yet. Let tomorrow come. Broaden the awareness of your mind. Let go that restlessness, the monkey chatter of our mind can quiet. And let go the future and the past. Marvel at right now. It is quite marvelous right now. Quietude gives us the space to be who we are right now. Free of expectations. If you were walking, just walk. Not caught up in what to say when you get there. That's not part of it. Just walk and be walking. That is how the Buddha lived his life. Simply walk, gathering it all in. Feel the sensation on the feet. Appreciate the texture of the breeze. Open your eyes and see the dappled sunlight in the branches. It will be the best walk you ever had. When we truly are aware of this present moment, we experience monpo, deep hearing of the light. The Eightfold Path is truly remarkable. It is really something. You don't have to know all the folds and the technical terms and that. When you smile, you're actually practicing all folds, all aspects of the Eightfold Path. The practice is a basic practice. It is the one the Buddha chose to teach to everyone at any time. Samyak Samadhi is a broad view. It is a wholesome, holistic, big picture view. That's what we mean by quietude. A stillness, a calmness, a quiet place inside of us where you can gather it all in. Quietude is how we feel when we say the Nembutsu. grounded. It is open and grateful. It is not chatty or inquisitive. Here, in quietude, there is no observer. Quietude is when we quiet the monkey mind and simply be in an open and broad way. That is what quiet is good for. To close, we are open and aware of myriad beings who are struggling in this world and in this universe. We offer them words of love and encouragement, a loving kindness prayer. It's okay if you repeat inside your mask, so say after me. May you be happy. May you be free from harm. May you receive boundless compassion. And may peace and harmony fill your heart. Namo, namo, namo. So now, if you would share in mind singing our Aquino Buddhist Center theme song, Home in the Meadow. It was chosen by Dr. Alicia, Reverend Alicia. It's actually from a cowboy movie, but it's wonderful, and I really want to sing it, but I won't. I'll mind sing it too. Home in the Meadow.
Away, away, come away with me, where the grass grows wild and the winds blow free. Away, away, come away with me, and I'll build you a home in the meadow. Come, come, there's a wondrous land for the hopeful heart and the willing hand. Come, come, there's a wondrous land where I'll build you a home in the meadow. The stars, oh how bright and far, on a world of pure and eternal love. The stars, oh how bright they'll shine on the home we will build in the meadow. Come, come, there's a wondrous land where the hopeful heart and the willing hand. Come, there's a wondrous land where I'll build you a home in the meadow.
Thank you. I've noticed that since the pandemic, there's a harpsichord in that song. It's interesting. Just kind of drifted in there in the process. Electronics. So we're finished with our service. We're going to exit the temple, but we want to do this in an orderly and distant way. I hesitate to say spaced out.